Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hi, Nikki here, podcast lover and sometimes content creator. You may or may not know me from previous episodes I've done or various platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, where you can find me as CommanderNici. It's been relatively quiet on most platforms for me recently because you know how it is. Life is life. Nah. But yeah, life has been, well, what it is. And yeah, it's been quiet, but I'm sure the creative juices will be flowing again real soon, hopefully. But enough about me. Let's talk about something I want to talk about. And that is from last episode's cat game. I come to you with today's episode, a rat game. I'm going to tell you about Tales of Iron. Developed by Oddbug Studio and published by United Label, this really cute but yet gruesome 2D side-scrolling RPG rat play game takes you on an adventure of little red Reggie, heir to the throne, taking back his kingdom that has been overrun by the evil Frog clan. It's been a while since I was a kid. God, I'm getting old. And when I was a kid, sometimes I used to watch Redwall, and so far I've never played a Dark Souls game. Yet when I see this game described as if Redwall met Dark Souls, it feels oddly fitting. Not so oddly when you think about the fact that both actually have been an inspiration for the game, along with The Witcher and Hollow Knight. And about the Dark Souls aspect, in this game button mashing doesn't help you, which is usually my go-to tactic when it comes to fighting. And here you have, really similarly to Dark Souls games, Souls-likes, you have to time your parries and your dodges and your attacks, because otherwise you'll be downed quickly. But despite its difficulty in combat, the game is still very forgiving with save points. They're in every corner. Be sure to use them regularly, even though the game does have an auto-save function too. And yeah, like with all this dodging and parrying and timing the attacks, Tales of Iron is another game on the list of games that made me think one day I might actually be able to try a Dark Souls game. Hopefully. And I will not cry because it is too hard. I will just get through it, just like I did when I played Mass Effect on Insanity, which I never thought I would be able to. But back to Tales of Iron. The game overall is just really cute and fun and has a lot of puns. And like, since I'm not that well traveled in lots of pop culture, I'm pretty sure that I've missed some of the puns. So there's probably even more. But the puns that I spotted were brilliant, and each one of them made me chuckle. Like, they were top-notch puns. If you are into puns. Like, some people don't like puns, and I don't understand how you can not like puns. Another cool thing about the game is the voice dialogue, because there is none. I always like good voice acting and dialogue and stuff, but Tales of Iron does something special. So instead of actual dialogue, there's like this little speech bubbles with symbols in them, and instead of voices you hear like the cutest little flute sounds, and they kind of fit perfectly as the red voices. But there is actually some spoken voices in there. One voice, to be exact. And that one voice is a little treat for the Witcher fans out there. Because the game narration, which sometimes pop up to explain what's happening in the story and what's next to do, that narration is done by none other than Doug Cockle, Geralt of Rivia himself. I mean, Rivia. And also for the trophy hunters out there. None of the trophies are missable, and like with a little backtracking, if you forgot to explore an area during the story properly, you can finish all the trophies in just one run, which is a neat little fact I just wanted to drop in the middle of what all the things I want to talk about when talking about Tales of Iron. But now let's talk about some of my favorite things about the game, which are the soundtrack and the art style. They are like just overall the perfect little medieval fantasy vibes that I've always enjoyed ever since I was a kid. It's always been knights and castles and swords. Like I always loved that stuff. No wonder I enjoyed Tales of Iron so much. Not to mention that the player character is an animal, which so far has been true for all the side quest episodes I've done so far. Just a little side note, like it looks like I'm setting myself up for a pattern. But yeah, Tales of Iron just like ticks a lot of boxes why I could enjoy a game. And I could go and talk about my favorite bit in the story because I think that was like really neat and cool, and also like kinda another thing I like in many games when something like that happens or is like present, not like just happening. And but I wanted to be a surprise for anyone going to play it as much as it was a surprise for me. Let's just say something that's like not ruining the surprise, just like something to look forward to. That part of the story has an arena, and like I always like when games have like arena stuff, just like Assassin's Creed Odyssey had, or like Oblivion. I always like those gladiator style arena stuff. It just feels different slaying opponents with a crowd watching instead of just the usual murky woods and trees and bushes being your only spectators. So yeah, there's lots to love about this game. The art style, the soundtrack, the sound design, the humor, the story, and honestly, I can't wait to see what else the developers have up their sleeves for us. And I'm sure it'll be just as great as Tales of Iron, if not even maybe better. And like, fortunately, when I was getting ready for preparing this episode and gathering all my thoughts and notes, it was on sale in a Nintendo store, so I got it a second time, just like this time that I can carry it around with me. The first time was when it was the monthly PlayStation Plus lineup, and yeah, it's just a little thing I like to do if I technically get a game for quote unquote free via like PlayStation Plus or like Epic or something. And if I really like a game, I go like the little extra step of actually paying for that game directly instead of indirectly via some like monthly subscription thing or something like that. So I definitely recommend giving this game a try if you see it for a price you like. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be doing an episode if I wouldn't be recommending it. So yeah, I think that was it talking about Tales of Iron for me. So yeah, keep on adventuring and exploring and happy gaming.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Jeff.
what's going on, guys?
Oh, talking about Superman.
Oh, cool. I could talk about Superman.
I could talk some more about Superman.
We know.
I'll bet a few people would want to get in on this.
I'm down.
You know it.
That sounds like fun. I'll do it.
Cool, let's do it. We can call the show Men of Steel.
And you can find it at certainpov.com.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yay.
CPOV.
CertainPOV.com.